Good afternoon, Sacred Spiritual Healer. Going to do another, not book review, however, it's probably similar in the sense we're reading the actual definitions of the cards from the book for the viewers that are new to this deck per se, and want to know what the actual book's meaning of the cards are, because many of us readers actually channel the messages or use intuitive reading, and we don't always go to the book and read the message. So for the viewer's sake, we're reading each of the messages as written by the author, Kim Kranz, that she had in mind when she created the artwork. Alright, so say for the Phoenix Rising, you see the amazing color in these cards are just fabulous. The dragon, oops, the egg, okay, Phoenix. Now I gotta get them back in order. I had them in order. So, that being said, they are broken up in the book by elements of earth, wind, water, fire, and air. So, we're gonna begin as the book describes it. Not reading the whole book, only reading the actual, the cards. However, in the beginning she does give a brief description of the elements that she wanted to express when she wrote the book. Creatures of the field and forest. This is Earth. We start Earth sign off with the amazing Bear card. Okay, so Earth is the first element up. I'm actually going to fix this if I can. Close enough that maybe I can set these like so. There. Now you'll know exactly which ones. The suit of survival and instinct. The earth creatures represent our relationships with fears and habits. In general, the creatures of this suit are grounded, dependable, and supportive. However, since they are so drawn to routine, they often become stuck in their own ways. Several earth cards indicate that consciousness remains rooted in the material plane, or as referred to in yoga, the gross realm. This means practical concerns, money, home, work, or family, are at the forefront of the mind when you receive these cards. Not leaving room for much else, movement and exercise are especially helpful to counter the stagnation or stuckness that can accompany excess earth element when you receive these cards in a reading. So I'm going to jump to the earth element. Alright. So, the first card, Bear, if they are not numbered, they just have the symbol here that they use for the earth sign, okay? Walking from spiritual slumber, beginning anew. So if you receive the Bear card, this is what the author, Kim Kranz, had in mind for this card. After a long winter, the bear arises from deep slumber. At first, the movement and efforts are difficult, but the bear knows it's time to awaken and move toward the dawning light. The bear card represents an individual on the cusp of new directions and personal transformation. The initial weeks and months of this spiritual quest may feel tricky, cumbersome, and full of obstacles, but you have no choice. Winter wanes, the warmth of spring emerges, and your transformation begins. So when you're in balance and you receive this card, you might have or experience the inner strength, yearning to grow more. But if you are out of balance, withdrawn, lethargy, and heaviness. Now, to bring those into balance, they recommend movement and exercise. Okay, usually as a reader, we see this as a protector of the home, the mama bear, that the provider, kind of like a Virgo card, as a reader. So let me take that one off. Alright, I'm going to flip that down. Earthworm. So if you receive the earthworm in your reading, this suggests shyness, hesitant, reluctant to share your inner vision. We have all felt the woes of the earthworm at some point along the way. The earthworm indicates a newbie or a novice working to establish confidence in a new field. Others around you may seem wise and experienced, but it's important to remember that they once felt the earthworm energy also. This card is to remind not to be intimidated or lose hope. Mastery takes time, and you're on the right track. Besides, rumor has it, a beginner's mind offers the most valuable insight. When you're imbalanced as an earthworm, you will be earnest, intelligent, valuable. If you are out of balance, you might experience self-consciousness or apprehension. To bring these into balance, speak up, risk embarrassment. For me, when I see this, it's like the Page Cup, maybe even the Fool's Cup card, but the Page card in the tarot also, because it's like the very beginning. He's not yet a knight, but he wants to be, so he works real hard. Okay, the mouse. Detail-oriented, small-minded, nitpicky, nervous. Well, you are the prey, right? Because everything wants to eat the mouse. The mouse has an innate desire to tend to details. It often spends its days fixing, preparing, organizing, and scrutinizing. Unfortunately, a mouse personality doesn't notice when they've gone too far. Soon they begin to have a limited and fearful vision of life and try to control every detail. This can be quite a painful experience for both the mouse and those around them. When mouse energy is at play, step back for a moment. It may be time to find a more purposeful project to delve into, one that's worthy of your exacting eyes. When you're in balance, you're organized, resourceful, and prepared. When you're out of balance, busy with no purpose, probably gossips. To bring it into balance, a meaningful project is in need. And rabbit, another prey card. Prey meaning, animals, other animals chase you. Low on the food chain, that kind of prey. Right, rabbit, afraid of everything, overwhelmed and frozen. The rabbit loves to remind his friends that someday the eagle will swoop down and eat him. He talks and talks and talks about it, so loudly, in fact, that one day the eagle hears him, thanks him for the great idea. Rabbit energy is alive when we are scared, most often about the future, and we become our own worst enemy. We spin up a dust cloud of fear and then complain to others that we are lost. Notice your thoughts and words. Oh, rabbit, they shaped your destiny. When in balance, sensitive, problem solver, good listener, but when you're out of balance, over-explains and talks too fast. To bring it into balance, a day of silence. Rest. Raccoon. So if you get the raccoon, he's cute and fuzzy, isn't he? Talented, shadowy, and in hiding. The raccoon energy is at play within all artists to greater or lesser degrees at best. It indicates talent, tenacity, and skillfulness with a particular musical instrument or creative tool. Its shadow side points to an unresolved issue around self-image and success. Sometimes using a stage name or wearing a mask works in an artist's favors. Other times, it limits creativity. Am I who my audience thinks I am? What if I am already to grow into something more? Raccoon energy won't let us off the hook until this creative ego fear is resolved. When in balance, generous friends, exceptional artist, and when out of balance, competitive, starving artist. To bring it into balance, make new work. Be creative. The fox. The fox and the hound. Alright. The fox is smart, strong partner or mate, wise teacher. The fox is an enchanting creature with plenty of mystique to go around. Fox personalities are skillful in business and also make great teachers. They are quick to learn and adapt well to new situations. Foxes are ideal partners as they commit to relationships for the long term, and their natural charisma keeps things exciting. Fox energy helps us stay true to those most dear to us. When this card appears, reconnect to those you love. Foxes don't do well when they slip away. When you're in balance, magical, ingenious, teacher, monogamous. But when you're out of balance, sneaky, unsure of their identity, and to bring it into balance, partner up with someone or make connections. The snake card. Guardian of unawakened magic, creative potential. The snake is a symbol of our highest potential. It is said that Shakti, our creative life force, lies dormant at the base of our spine in the form of a coiled snake. Regardless of whether this image rings true for you, it's worth considering the amount of unawakened or untapped potential within you. What would life look like if you woke it up? How can you stir it from its slumber? An experienced yoga or meditation teacher can lead the way. Make haste. The snake card appears when there is no more time to waste, so the time is now. When in balance, prosperous, creative, charismatic. When out of balance, starts and stops many things without finishing. And to bring it into balance, do Kundalini yoga and meditation. The buffalo. Grounded yet heavily, practical yet spiritual. The hooves of the mighty buffalo are grounded in the earth, yet its heart and mind rise towards heaven. The buffalo sees challenge, hardship, or a bump in the road as an opportunity for upliftment. Therefore, the buffalo does not fear death, illness, or misfortune. Its gentle eyes look to the road ahead, trusting every turn. May we all experience this elusive yet life-changing bliss from time to time, and may we all allow this card to remind us that life is a precious gift. Tomorrow is not promised. When in balance, trusting pure presence. When out of balance, restless, lacks gratitude. To bring into balance, prayer and Shakti. The lamb. The lamb is a peaceful, prophetic patient. The lamb is the bearer of an important message. Its contents can only be heard when a deep level of quietness has been established. Lamb energy is the honest guidance you hear from an old friend, a young child, or sometimes a surprising stranger. Though the lamb's message may channel through another person, the wisdom resonates within you. It will repeat and verbatim until you listen. Approach this gentle creature with utmost patience and reverence. Truth is a gift. Sit still, listen, and receive. When in balance, knowingness, inner peace. When out of balance, quiet, timid concerns. To bring into balance, meditation and listening. The elk. Stable, resilient, headstrong, known as the Father card. The great elk represents the earth element in its masculine form. This means it provides underlying support and stability amidst life's many changes. An elk's personality, whether male or female, is fully established in themselves and knows their core values. They become known and respected for acting in ways that uphold those values. Sometimes the elk's ego can become inflated, but for the most part, they make damn good fathers, mothers, lovers, and friends. The world needs more elk energy. When in balance, supportive, kind, and consistent. When out of balance, pretentious, high, and mighty. To bring it into balance, eat and drink more consciously. The deer, another motherly. Deer, loving, intuitive, graceful, and known as the mother. The deer represents the feminine aspects of earth energy. This energy is available to all creatures regardless of gender, but it's especially potent in new parents. During the first few days they are fully present, nurturing and calm. Their inner beauty radiates, and a sense of grace calms the room. A deer personality affects others in this way, drawing them towards a quiet tenderness. The deer card may appear when a birth or celebration of new life draws near, or when a situation calls for absolute gentleness and compassion. When in balance, receptive, compassionate, and nurturing. When out of balance, concerned and protective. To bring it into balance, nurture and be around children. Oh, another Virgo card, wolf. Let's see, guardian of family and tribe, activism and rituals. The wolf's mission is to uphold the well-being and longevity of the pack. Healthy wolf energy expresses itself through activism, mentorship, humanitarian efforts, or teaching, religious or political studies. The wolf gets into trouble when it assumes every member of the tribe must follow suit. This includes children walking in their parents' footsteps. Although it will surely be uncomfortable at first, practicing tolerance helps balance out this agitated wolf energy. Contemplate the following: embrace all, exclude none. When it's in balance, it's reliable, democratic, and fearless. When out of balance, it's judgmental and dominating. To bring it into balance, practice letting go. Spidey. Spider, creator of prosperity through life's works and dharma. The spider is an ingenious creator. Its greatest gift is weaving the thread of dharma into a vast, intricate web that supports the spider and those around it, both financially and spiritually. It is hard work, but the spider neither tires nor becomes impatient. This card reminds us creativity is everywhere. Be process-oriented rather than result-oriented, and soon your work becomes like the weaving of a magical, priceless tapestry. Abundance will follow. When it's in balance, appreciative, enthusiastic, and prosperous. When out of balance, you're discouraged, tired, and forlorn. To bring it into balance, be playful and creative. The horse energy. Momentum, freedom, expansive energy, and force. The horse represents the most masterful form of earth energy within the deck. It provides us the momentum so reliable, so supportive that you can ride on its back toward any goal, no matter how difficult the terrain. A horse personality is fully awakened, fully alive, cannot be defeated. The horse's freedom becomes available to us when we hone and collect our energy through daily practice. Physical stamina, exercise, and mental focus, meditation, are the secret weapons behind the horse legacy. Achieves anything and never gives up when it's in balance. When it's out of balance, runs away, feels weak. To bring it into balance, strengthen training. That is your earth energy. So the next up would be the water. Okay, so water, from the overall thing. Creatures of oceans, rivers, and lakes. The creatures of the water element represent our emotional world and our ability to express. These cards point to relationships, love, boundaries, and creativity. Our flow, if you will. Water creatures are often drawn to the artist as they have a natural inclination towards beauty and depth. Several water cards indicate an outpouring of creativity or emotion. This can be wonderful, joyful, even romantic. However, when water spills and makes a mess, disappointment and sometimes tears, they are water after all, are sure to follow. Ideally, a healthy stream of communication flows through our lives. Not too much water, not too little. So the first up is your crocodile. Resting, submerging, collecting energy, cooling off. The crocodile reminds us to step back from the external world and turn inward, Now is not the time for decisions, actions, or discussions. The crocodile's mantra is wait. This doesn't mean lying around, hoping life's challenges will disappear. The crocodile is much smarter than that. It means intentionally withdrawing, gathering our awareness, observing, and building energy. Fill up the vital reserves to your next move, and it comes from a place of wisdom and power. When it's in balance, it's wise, patient, a silent powerhouse. When it's out of balance, it feels stuck and lashes out. To bring into balance, rest and yoga poses. Stingray. Developing confidence, sense of self, or spine. The stingray card represents a pivotal point in personal growth. The movement has come when the stingray must decide between the old, easy, comfortable, and familiar, and the new, challenging, uncomfortable, and unfamiliar. Pressure from family or friends makes the decision even more complicated. No matter what choice is made now, it's inevitable that this dilemma will surface again and again as the force of Dharma growing within the stingray is too strong to ignore. Balance. When it's in balance, eager, it wants to grow. When it's out of balance, blames others and quits. To bring into balance, it moves through the discomfort. The fish that swims upstream. Restlessness, change of focus, lost in the current. The fish loves to be submerged in life's current. Nothing pleases it more than movement, and more movement. The roaming lifestyle of the fish may be exhilarating for a while, but usually leads to weariness and slippery relationships. With all the possibilities out there in the vast waters, the fish becomes lost without clear goals and intentions. Spend some time with the lunar forces, dear fish, as the peace and calm of the moon will soothe your soul. When it's in balance, adaptable, travels well. When out of balance, distracted, changes mind often. To bring it into balance, set a small goal and accomplish it. Starfish. Beautiful, alluring, superficial, or shallow. The starfish is a natural and exquisite beauty, memorizing to all. Being around someone with starfish energy is a thrill, like you've been put under a spell of divinity itself. The problem is these creatures have been reliant on how they look and what other people think of them for so long that they may have forgotten their deeper calling. When this card appears, it's important to ask, am I being swayed by outward appearance? What dreams have I put aside to please others? When it's in balance, it's uplifting and artistic. When it's out of balance, it gossips and feels empty. To bring it into balance, positive friends are needed. The octopus, reaching, yearning, lacking boundaries and direction. The octopus signifies a wonderful perceptive mind paired with the lack of healthy boundaries. Unfortunately, this results in a well-intended but messy relationship. The octopus entwines itself into other people's business. It shares their own without restraint. They believe that's what is meant to be, close. If you notice, after spending time with someone, that you feel drained or uneasy, the essence of octopus is at play. Begin to establish healthy boundaries. Be patient and firm. It may be a very old habit to change. When in balance, interested and engaged and intelligent. When out of balance, it's needy, clingy, lacks courage. To bring it into balance, space to oneself and talk therapy. And the octopus is known to, by some readers, they'll say it can be transparent, make itself transparent, as if it doesn't want to be seen, or it feels it isn't being seen. The beaver. Hardworking, loyal, tireless, family first. The beaver personality is a welcome sight. These good-natured and dependable creatures have infinite love and enthusiasm for family and express it by the way of the earth element, providing a home, financial stability. Although a beaver doesn't usually initiate a project, once started, they'll work steadily for weeks, months, or years to see it through. The beaver card appears when the task at hand requires long-term, steady effort. It can also signify that it's time for some karma yoga, selfless service, that is. When in balance, happy, meaningful work. When out of balance, fear feels useless and worn out. To bring it into balance, physical labor, selfless service, like volunteering, is needed. Oyster. Patient secret keeper, hiding inner treasures. Focus and determination of the oyster is unmatched. Anything an oyster personality puts their mind to, they achieve with grace and charm. The only problem is oyster types often take their inner gifts for granted. They become shy and doubtful, and this can lead to withdrawing and protecting their deepest desires of life work. When the oyster card appears, it's important to reveal your inner treasures. What is it you've been hesitant to share? The world is waiting to see. When it's in balance, you feel blessed and generous. When out of balance, reluctant and clams up. To bring it into balance, share something of yourself. Turtle. Ancient soul, grounded, trusting, at home in the south. It is wonderful to be in the presence of a turtle personality like the beaver. The turtle has a strong relationship with the earth and water elements simultaneously. This helps to ground and connect them to the deeper truth of life. No matter where their travels lead them, turtle energy is behind all great writers and storytellers. As they collect life experiences under their shells for later use, the most potent turtle energy helps us close all the other books and begin to tell our own true tale. When in balance, peaceful and adventurous. When out of balance, slows down to a halt. To bring it into balance, be in adventure. The frog. Clearing, cleansing, healing. The frog and the water element are almost inseparable. The frog spends its first months of life entirely within this healing element, and then emerges to rest on land. But no matter how earthly the frog becomes, its need for cleansing and rejuvenation is regular. Frogs tend to become overworked and undernourished, so it's vital that such sensitive creatures practice self-care. This card serves as a reminder that water helps us cleanse, forgive, and release. Time to dive in. Frogs aren't meant to carry that heavy load. When in balance, clear energy and enthusiasm. When out of balance, you're depleted, running on empty. To bring into balance, Be near a river, a lake, ocean, or a bathhouse. The otter, an Aquarius. Unobstructed joy, playfulness, contentment. Perhaps the most joyful, playful creature within the animal spirit deck. The otter represents absolute bliss. Otter energy is the playfulness of a child, available to us at any age. They have a giddiness and a reserve for life itself, without the presence or doubt, worry, or skepticism. Imagine yourself with a little more otter energy. What would life look like? What would it take to bring you there? The otter card begs these questions and wants to transport us to that precious place as soon as possible. The celebration awaits. When in balance, full of love, needs nothing. When out of balance, gloomy and sighs. To bring into balance, dance, party, or celebrate. This is an Aquarius card. The shark. Shark, directness, exposure, revealing true nature and desires. The shark is only dangerous when we don't acknowledge it. This card indicates that something big needs to be exposed. It's lurking in the depths and creating tension. Shark energy takes over us when we are hesitant to be honest, to be totally ourselves, or to say what we really want. It may be tempting to continue pretending nothing is wrong, but when shark energy is at play, we feel its presence encircling us. When in balance, intriguing and captivating, mysterious even. When out of balance, you're sneaky, destructive. To bring it into balance, be honest. The swan. Effortless, creative, sensitive, mystic, elegant power. The swan represents heightened creativity in Hindu mythology. The goddess Saraswati, the embodiment of language, creativity, and artistry, rides on the back of this graceful creature. The swan is ready to take us there, to be the fluid realm of writing, creating, and reflecting. This potent and healing energy is not to be taken for granted or taken lightly. When the swan card appears, your soul is calling for attention, for solo time. An inner voice is waiting to be heard, an inner vision likely to be revealed. When in balance, infinite creative power. When out of balance, agitated. To bring it into balance, solo time and writing. We often say this is the card for mirroring one another in the twin flame journey. Dolphin. Innately intelligent, healer, light, and blessings. The gift of the dolphin are beyond what our human minds can grasp. Dolphin personalities are often drawn to the healing arts as they are sensitive to the subtle and enjoy working on the level of spirit. It's easy for a dolphin type to underestimate the impact that they make in the world. These creatures play such an important role in the wheel of karma that coming to contact with a dolphin type will change the entire course of your day and thus your life. This card can also indicate a profound blessing is on the way. If it's in balance, active healer, strong spiritual practice. When out of balance, underestimated. To bring into balance, like-minded spirits. The whale card. I'm just going to set it there for a minute. Desire to delve deeper, profound peace, ancient wisdom. The whale represents profound emotional health, stability. Whale personalities are not afraid of emotional expression or traverse the difficult terrain, as they have to overcome many challenges in their lives. These experiences have enriched them, giving them stability, strength, and a depth that is rare. Whale energy is usually linked to the feminine force of compassion and communication. We can deeply depend on whale personalities when all else seems lost and trust them to be a beacon in our darkest hour. When in balance, calm, steady, deeply compassionate. When out of balance, heavy, slips into old story. To bring it into balance, regular self-care. And the fire signs are up next. Fire. Creatures of the desert and grasslands. The creatures of the fire element lead us toward change. They represent the ego and challenge us to become our best selves. Although these cards appear more frequently when conflict or discomfort is present, the heat they emit is the elixir of our transformation. Several fire cards indicate the heat is on. It's a time of action and change. Deadlines, demands are around every turn, but it's all in this name of growth. You'll look back on it in awe of that, with all that was accomplished. When all else fails, remember fire is the only thing that transforms darkness to light. The fire ants. Aggression, rigid thinking, following orders. Fire ants' energy flares up without us noticing it. It's the force that attracts us to people and situations that feed our imbalance rather than those that counter them. Gossiping and blaming are a few indicators that misalignment in the fire ant energy is at play. You may also find yourself stewing on a person or a situation, only making things worse. How can you break free from the dharma and cool down? Fire ants are surprisingly sensitive. Don't pretend the heat isn't getting to you. When in balance, thoughtful and disciplined, but when out of balance, argues, excessive heat, gossips a lot. To bring into balance, solo time, take walks at night. The hyena. There. Humor, wit, sarcasm. The hyena personality is a jokester and a crowd pleaser, but below the surface there are unfulfilled dreams to be realized. When the hyena card appears, it's time to reflect on your reliance on sarcasm and humor to express your truth. Are you using jokes to hide old resentments in relationships, or to mask those things that you feel uncomfortable really discussing? What would happen if you took your goals seriously? When in balance, you're charming, witty, fun to be around. When out of balance, scrappy, petty, and suspicious. Sneaky. To bring into balance, try sobriety. Must be he drinks a lot. Let's see, the Scorpio. Passionate, competitive, tends toward isolation. The Scorpion is a passionate and determined creature. Their career is very important to them, as are a few select friends. Sometimes the Scorpion's heat festers and they focus on an unresolved event from the past, usually a situation where they were left feeling burned. The Scorpion card says it's time to come clean about your feelings so everyone can heal and you can get back to your usual fiery and fun self. If it's in balance, wild and free. When it's out of balance, it's jealous and resentful. To bring it into balance, use honesty and forgiveness, which would be part of your inner child healing. The Lizard. Instructional, sensitive to subtle dreamer. The Lizard is an expert in the realm of sensory perception, as if it has a sixth sense. The Lizard hears what is yet to be spoken, sees what is yet to be manifested. Although this is an amazing gift, it can also easily wear the Lizard down. Big crowds, lots of travel, overstimulation will drain a Lizard of their magical essence. This card is an indication to pull back from the bright lights, big city, and return to the inner artists who have been whispering your name. When in balance, artistic, telepathic, and spiritual. When out of balance, elusive, non-committal. To bring to balance, try a creative project. Oh, the Panther, I like him. And annihilation of the unnecessary, and purging. A panther won't stand to see your growth or energy stagnant. Instead, it pounces into our lives, causes all kinds of havoc, with the ultimate intention of bringing us towards more fulfillment in life. It's unexpected, uncomfortable, and sometimes feels devastating, but after all the dust clears, it's easy to see the panther's wisdom at work. We've all been through these experiences, and they've made us better people. Trust that the panther's journey always leads to a brighter place. When in balance, you're productive. If you're out of balance, self-destructive. To bring it into balance, get rid of the unnecessary. Release, let go. Spidey, tarantula. At a crossroads, claiming life's purpose. Tarantula represents a moment when a great decision must be made. It involves prioritizing your life's deeper purpose or dharma. A habit or routine from the past is sidetracking you from your dreams, yet a voice inside keeps begging you to refocus your attention. In order to find true happiness, you must choose dharma. Until you do, satisfaction will be fleeting. The tarantula hovers patiently and calm, like an old friend that knows your inner soul. It already knows you'll choose wisely. When in balance, you follow intuition. When you're out of balance, you hesitate. To bring it into balance, use a daily journal. Camel. Resourceful, independent, knows oneself. The camel can handle absolutely anything, as it carries a wealth of nourishment within. This wondrous creature is self-reliant and handles challenges with ease. Even in the face of excessive heat, judgment, or anger, the camel searches inside for the cool elixir of water to calm the situation. The camel represents the ultimate form of bringing opposites into balance, fire and water, and being responsible for one's own reactions. The camel is a wonderful traveler and is especially fond of trips to faraway land. When in balance, you're calm and content. When you're out of balance, you're dehydrated. To bring it into balance, be a pilgrim. The gazelle. Heightened awareness and ability, vulnerable. The gazelle represents supreme grace with every move. This awe-inspiring beauty amidst sophistication and elegance. Gazelle personalities are often hyper-aware of their own surroundings, bordering on hyper-vigilance, and this can inhibit them from enjoying beauty they've spent so much effort cultivating. No more worrying about all those predators out there in the world. When this card appears, it's time to get back to the present moment. Sit down, find your breath, and acknowledge the bounty that surrounds you. Let it nourish your gentle spirit. When you're in balance, graceful and perceptive. When out of balance, insomnia and racing mind, or otherwise known as monkey mind. To bring into balance, yin yoga and good friends. The cheetah. Solar force, action, achievement, masculine energy. The cheetah is the epitome of the solar forces at work. The sun doesn't shine onto a cheetah. It shines from inside this great creature and expands outward to brighten the universe. The energy within the cheetah personality is palpable to others, and they naturally attract an audience to bear witness to their remarkable achievements. Purpose and passion are the best fuel for a cheetah's forward momentum. So if you're lacking in those areas, reconnect to the why before you start running. When in balance, you achieve anything in boundless energy. When you're out of balance, you're impatient. To bring it into balance, reconnect with the purpose. Tiger. Lunar force, ease in darkness, feminine energy. The tiger hunts at night, at one with the silence, fearing nothing. The card reminds us to take in the wild darkness, to allow the lunar forces to soothe and heal our spirits. Our sensuality, receptiveness, and devotion are all heightened in the midnight hour. and the tiger takes advantage of these boons. Spent some time in silence this evening, drinking in the potent calm. There is nothing to fear in the stillness except the awakening of your own power. When in balance, you're passionate, strong, and sensual. When you're out of balance, you're overstimulated. To bring it into balance, candle gazing, like meditation. Pausing, the cobra, pausing, waiting, the inner teacher. Remember, the snake is the inner teacher. The cobra represents a teacher or a spiritual guardian. The cobra hovers and watches, ever present, ever protecting, ever loving. The essence of the cobra is found deep within us in the form of the inner teacher and manifest externally in those special guides who've led us along the path. What would it feel like to be a student again? What are you ready to learn? Remember the old saying, when the student is ready, the teacher appears. When you're in balance, a student of life. Be humble, be wise. When out of balance, you're a know-it-all. To bring it into balance, take a class or study something new. This is also like your Kundalini. Zebra, eccentric, creative, and visionary. Zebras are the most precious of gems. They are young at heart, well-cultured, and have an undying curiosity about life. Being in the company of a zebra personality not only is a delight, but also opens our minds. Be prepared, their potent magic is contagious, and you may soon find yourself in a faraway land, expanding your worldview while having a blast. Zebras are also like to contribute to the global health through environmental work or volunteer work. This card may be a hint to pack your bags or volunteer. When in balance, you're worldly, enthusiastic, and when out of balance, you're jaded and pouty. To bring it into balance, an epic adventure is in need. Lion, patient, regal, a complete master. After all, he's the king of the jungle. The lion is a master of the fire element and the living mascot of self-transformation. A lion personality dedicates their life to personal and spiritual growth. This dedication inspires some and intimidates others. Therefore, the lion is respected by all, but known intimately by few. Some mistake the lion as hard to access or aloof, yet those with a keener eye know better. Lions are observant, stealth, and precise in their words and actions. They do not waste energy or resources. This card reminds us that self-mastery is available to all, no matter where our quest begins. When the lion energy is in balance, it's the epitome of peace and strength. When out of balance, withdrawn and weak. To bring into balance, daily meditation and friendship. Elephant. Unstoppable, auspicious, and wise. The elephant is arguably the most auspicious figure in the deck. Like Ganesh, the elephant represents immense wisdom as well as good fortune. It is said that the great elephant is the destroyer of obstacles. So if this card appears when you feel stuck, rest assured the path will soon become clear. To add to the mystery, the elephant is also known to create obstacles in order to steer us in the right direction. Trust this gentle, noble creature. It illuminates the way with the light of its self-knowledge. When in balance, one point is pointed, focused. When out of balance, misunderstood, or misunderstands fate. To bring into balance, trust more often. Okay, air, Aquarius, Libra, and Gemini. Okay, first up should be the moth. Impulsive, hasty, wishful. The moth is sure the grass is greener on the other side. Moth energy is at play when we are attracted to easily solutions or anything shiny and new or light. This can lead to unfinished projects, disappointment, and burnout. It's helpful to remind moth personalities that life is complex. No matter the illusion, no one is exempt from the trials and tribulations of this great journey. Practice seeing life as an infinite mystery rather than wishing it was easier or different. When in balance, you're enthusiastic. When you're out of balance, you're jittery. To bring it into balance, finish a project. Butterfly. Undergoing great change and transformation. The energy of the butterfly is with us during periods of transition, since air is the element of the heart. This change usually involves relationships. Air is the element of the heart? Actually, it's the mind. Oh, okay. This change usually involves relationships, or if you can love your job, perhaps your career. Since transition is accompanied by some amount of discomfort, be extra patient and kind during this time, especially if the butterfly is you. Let solid friends and activities support you like a cocoon, committing to one daily routine. A meal practice or prayer done at the same place, same time will do wonders for lifting the butterfly spirit. When in balance, you're cheerful, graceful. When you're out of balance, you're fragile, frustrated. To bring into balance, you need a daily routine. Up next is the bat. Darkness, letting go, death, leading to the rebirth. Before emerging, the bat waits for the sun to set and the moon to rise in the darkness. It can see all that was invisible in the daylight hours. The bat is a master of the subtle senses, of the underlying forces that cause some things to prosper and others to fade. The bat card shows up to signify the ending of a chapter, the closing of a door. The bat comes swiftly, encouraging us to move on and move now. In just a few hours, a new day dawns. No more lingering in the past. When you're in balance, you accept and adapt. When you're out of balance, you refuse to let go. To bring it into balance, watch the sunrise. Fireflies. Inspired and fantastic yet fleeting, the firefly contains the light of 1,000 stars. It's pure, radiant, and illuminating. This high-frequency charge cannot be sustained for long. Therefore, the firefly card indicates a moment of inspiration or awakening that quickly fades if we do not catch it. There is a firefly energy behind every poem, song, and invention. Our job is to be ready to harness this creative spirit when it graces our path. What can you do to support this precious and elusive light? When in balance, you write, you create. When out of balance, you're burned out. To bring into balance, write a poem or draw. Basically, creativity. A bee, buzzing bee, earnest, hardworking, democratic. The bee personality is a delight to be around, especially when there's a team project on the horizon. Bees love to work steadily and thoughtfully until the final task is complete. They are sensitive creatures, aware of many subtleties at once. Since they're artists at heart, they usually add creative details to the overall vision. For the most part, they have bustling, joyous personalities until you're too tired from all the work. Then they gripe and they sting. If it's in balance, it's content and active. If it's out of balance, overworked and annoyed. To bring it into balance, take a vacation. Hummingbird, positive, enthusiastic, spiritually resourceful. Inside the tiny hummingbird resides an endless well of energy and positivity. The hummingbird's secret is that it has learned where to gather nectar, and it returns to these sources daily for the nourishment and rejuvenation. This sacred elixir springs from many sources, but usually involves nature, creativity, and exploring spirituality. Follow the way of the hummingbird, and you cannot go wrong. Every droplet of life becomes sweet, every moment worth savoring. When in balance, smart, curious. When out of balance, you're pushy and insistent. To bring it into balance, take a class. The vulture. Guardian and purifier, essential for rebalance. The vulture is perhaps the most misunderstood creature of all. The intriguing bird balances our ecosystem and prevents the spread of disease. It does the dirty work that no one else wants to do and cleans up our messes. The vulture appears when there's a situation that needs to be purified or brought back into balance. Remember, the vulture is greatly undervalued. What you thought was a mistake or tragedy is a blessing in disguise. When in balance, it clarifies and reveals wisdom. When you're out of balance, you're dramatic and aggressive. To bring it into balance, clean your space and sage the house. Crow. Spiritually strong, creative, watchful, a very spiritual bird, by the way. The crow has long been a symbol of magic. A crow personality is drawn to the supernatural and has a gift for seeing the unseen, knowing the unknown. It is said that the crow holds within its mind's eye the three realities, past, present, and future. Crow energy is potent and should only be tapped into when the mind is very clear. Those with crow tendencies must balance their lives with a healthy diet, joyful friends, and regular self-study. When in balance, you're psychic, strong, and clear. When you're out of balance, you're ungrounded. To bring it into balance, daily meditation is required. The owl. Abundance, clairvoyance, treasures. The owl is a mysterious, otherworldly creature found in folklore from east to west. The white owl is in this particular deck is the companion of the goddess Lakshmi and represents wealth, beauty, good fortune. When the owl card appears, it's an omen that a boon of treasures is on the way, either in spiritual or material form. With owl wisdom on your side, you'll see and know exactly what to do with this boon, how it can further serve your dharma and bring abundance to the world. Trust that the wellspring of treasures is infinite. When in balance, it's generous and trusting. When it's out of balance, money quarrels. And to bring it into balance, make an offering, perhaps to nature. That would just be my own suggestion. 57. Master of light, illusions, and the mind. The dragonfly is an ancient and ethereal creature that awakens a sense of wonder in all. The dragonfly is a symbol of the mind, as it is always moving, swift, shifting, shimmering, and changing. When the dragonfly card appears, it's worth considering the quality of your mind and perception. They are restless or still, dreamlike or crystal clear. The situation at hand may be different than it appears at first. The dragonfly reminds us to calm the mind so the light of wisdom can shine through. When in balance, sees clearly, joyful. When it's out of balance, it can't concentrate. To bring it into balance, focus on the breath. I'm going to have to continue the next section in another video, I think. If it stops, we'll see. I was just watching the timer. So up next is the nightingale. Fearless voice, speech, communication, or song. The song of the nightingale is otherworldly. This simple brown bird, almost unnoticeable among the flashy plumage of the other birds, transports its listener to the realms of poetry. Nightingale energy is with us. When we write, compose, especially if we're singing, it reminds us that music heals the deepest wounds. This card indicates a need to open the bridge between the heart and the voice,